I have a sense that as compared to other national teams, players of Argentina across whichever league there are, they just seem hungrier to just make it to Qatar, right? I don't know about you guys because I definitely don't watch the other leagues as much as Premier League. Do you guys also sense the same? Because McAllister definitely seems to be like one of those types that who wants to perform every match for his club to get on the flight to Qatar.
Vamos, 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 Argentina. ¡Qué boludo!
Okay, moving on to the midfielders, starting with Paredes. Indranath, how is it doing?
Yeah, I think Juventus is not doing well, but Paradise actually not is playing well in his position. In fact, he's doing one more thing which is could become handy. He's also becoming their free kick taker, not the direct one, but putting the cross, and he's actually doing a very good job there. And he also has the leadership ability. So, I in my mind, and I think I'll move to Srikar after this. I try to find between Guido and Paredes who adds more value. And I think that's another problem, which is a great problem to have in a holding midfield position. Either of them can play and do a very good job. And I think Paredes is the first choice for the coach. And I think because of whatever was happening at PSG, he did the right thing from moving out there. Okay. Although Juventus is not doing very well, but I think Paredes,
he's getting the minutes.
He's getting the minutes. He's getting the confidence. Also, by middle of the season, after another month or so, he will become kind of a natural leader in the midfield. The way it's happening,
right.
So I'm very happy with his performance.
Yeah, and he had a great performance against Neymar, if I remember, in the finals, right? What about Guido? Srikar, what's your take?
Yeah, again, so Betis are third in the league. He's been instrumental there. He's played every match. He's played both the UEFA Europa League matches they've played. He's played every match in La Liga. They've kept half of their matches. They've been clean sheets, I think. So he's more defense oriented than Paredes is. Paredes is a better ball player. He's a more elegant passer and stuff. Yeah. He's more mobile too than Guido. But Guido is a tank, he's big, he's strong.
It's like,
somebody's
one of those sturdy ones. Yeah.
He's going to stand. He's a statue there. I mean, but yeah, Guido is reliable. He's somebody who very, very rarely makes that bad tackle which will get him a yellow card in an inopportune time, or in a worst case scenario, a red card. He's not somebody who is going to lose his composure. So it depends. If you're facing somebody who has lots of very good attacking midfielders, say you're facing Spain, in a game like that, Guido might come in handy over Paredes, because Paredes is somebody who is a little reckless at times. He jumps into tackles and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, I prefer Paredes too. Otherwise, I mean, most games I'll take Paredes over Guido.
Fair. Shubhro, coming to you, but I think I'll just make one point there. I think Indranath, you mentioned Paredes and the dead ball situations, which is where I think Mr. McAllister has been killing it. And what a surprise, what a revelation. And I think he recently gave a statement that he knows that he's fighting for a place in the midfield. And he's one of those who appears to me to be very hungry. Right, he wants to earn his spot, and which is why, and I have a sense that as compared to other national teams, players of Argentina across whichever league there are, they just seem hungrier to just make it to Qatar, right? I don't know about you guys because I definitely don't watch the other leagues as much as Premier League. Do you guys also sense the same? Because McAllister definitely seems to be like one of those types that who wants to perform every match for his club to get on the flight to Qatar. What do you guys think? Like,
definitely. I mean, Lo Celso he's been my favorite Argentina player in La Liga this season.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
been brilliant, spectacular.
Super.
I mean, I have not seen a midfielder do this well, an Argentine midfielder do this well in a long, long time. At least attacking wise, his passing, his picking out plays. He's playing in the forward line sometimes. Yesterday or something, I think he was in the front too. He played right behind the striker. So he's playing right from a very deep playmaking position to all the way in the front. He's playing on the right, on the left side of midfield. Lo Celso has been absolutely brilliant, but then Villarreal have done really, really well.
Excellent. So glad to hear because I think he was being wasted in England for his club. I'm very happy
Yeah,
that he is.
In fact, Lo Celso, the last year Champions League, his performance against Bayern Munich in
yeah.
both the legs are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a team like Villarreal going and beating
Facing
Bayern
semi-finals.
is not, don't
Yeah.
think about it. And he was just phenomenal in
Yeah.
both the legs.
Yeah, on the other hand, Depol, I mean, how I wish he'd done better under Simeone, but all I see is criticism from Athletic fans. They're not very happy with Depol.
But yeah, just sorry to butt in, Srikar, but do you think any of you that Deepal is actually probably again like one of those players who is going to really shine at the cup and like
He's
Pogba,
untouchable.
he was
He's playing
horrible in the United
for
colours
United
leading up to the
now.
World Cup, and then we all know how he performed in Russia, right? So do you think it's going to be one of those cases because Deepal was like a revelation for me in Copa, like I
Yeah.
think like the lead, he was everywhere, like he was like as an engine he was driving, he didn't even like probably make Messi like feel like he was needed at times, and that is a huge statement to make. But do you guys think that that's probably? I hope really that is the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I really hope so. That
Yeah, no, I'm fairly sure. For some reason, Simeone just doesn't suit Argentina players.
yeah,
I've not really seen one successful Argentina player play for Simeone.
Yeah, I think Depaul, he wears the jersey number 7 for Argentina, and that's a quite prestigious number. And Depaul is a different breed when he plays for Argentina. He's a very good engine. He's workhorse. He covers both offense and defense. And the point which I wanted to make about Guido and Paredes, as Srikar said, Guido is much more of a destroyer. He destroys the counterattacks, plays simple passes, but he's more defensive. Paredes, on the other hand, a bit slow on the defense, but he's a sort of regista. He will just launch the ball from the deep, quick passing, long balls. He can split the defense. When Paredes plays, Depaul has a double duty. He has to go forward in offense and has to cover a lot for Paredes' defense. And that's one point that we have to think of. While Guido plays, he's much more offensive. He'll do a lot of interception from the front rather than at the back.
Yeah.
So Depaul is one of the most crucial player, and I don't think so Atletico Madrid's form will affect him, because I saw, he was not that great in the Finalissima. He was okay, he was decent, but he was not that great as we saw him in the Copa America knockouts. But still, I think the form will not affect, because even last season, he was not getting regular time in Atletico, but when he played qualifiers, you saw Rodrigo Depaul was very good.
Indranath, just coming to you for the other 2-3, Enzo Fernandez and Nico Gonzalez. He's not on the flight to US for the two friendlies, and also Thiago Almada. What about these guys? How are they faring, and what's your view?
So I'm a huge Enzo fan,
Okay.
and I think his capability is immense. I mean, he hasn't shown so. And I'm very happy the way he's performing. And when he came to Europe and didn't come to one of the big nations, I wasn't worried. I wanted him to play regularly. So his choice to come to Benfica I was very happy.
Spot on. Yeah.
Yeah, and the way he's performing, and the management, they don't just pick up a player just like that.
Yeah.
They really want to look at a player, and when they pick up a player, Scaloni and his team, they kind of trust him for some time. So and Enzo is another guy, kind of Licha, who is a thing for future.
Yeah.
And if he gets an opportunity, he will leave his mark. He can score, he can assist, and he also has the physicality.
Yeah.
So Enzo is going to be really, really well. Nico, I think, is injured, and he runs through the wing, and
He's one of those forever question mark players. No? He's
Yes.
one of those. Yeah.
And regarding Thiago Almada, I have not seen much of him,
Okay.
so I can't comment.
Yeah.
Supriyo, you want to talk about Thiago Almada?
I haven't seen him, but I was going through his stats. He has been pretty good. Although he hasn't scored many goals or assisted many, but he has been pretty good. Consistent performance. I think that's why he is getting up a call, because unless you are consistent enough in MLS, you don't get a call up from MLS. So it's strange, but I'm happy to see him back. He was initially called long time ago. I'm happy to see him back. Let's see what he offers.
Exactly. So I think the two friendlies will give us good view of this guy, right? So let's see how Thiago sort of performs. Okay. I think moving on to statistic. By the way, guys, I don't know about you, but listening to so many options for midfield really made me happy. Usually that's not the case going into World Cups. Again, touch wood. So about the forwards, who was to go first? Because I think here we are slightly like spoiled for choice. So what's the view? Maybe I'll start off. I mean, this kid has been fascinating, Julian Alvarez. I mean, I think Pep has come out and then praised him when journalists have been asking him at press cons about Haaland, of course, of all people. And he has said, guys, are you even watching this other kid? I mean, he's spectacular in joining the club. And just, I mean, he might have had just 2 goals, but I think he could have scored at least 3-4 more. The so good he has been. I think after Jesus, he just comes in and fills up that spot beautifully. And probably, like, he's going to, like, unfortunately for us at United, he'll lot of matches. What a great player. And I think he's a fascinating option. I definitely see him having a couple of starts and definitely making it to Qatar. What do you guys think? How has he been shaping up?
I think he is definitely going to Qatar, and he will come in many matches as substitute to Lautaro. And he's very technically gifted player. He just needs a bit of experience at the highest level. So the last weekend, Di Maria got a red card, which probably shouldn't have been a red card. But again, I'm not worried. Actually, the lesser game he plays at Juventus, I'll be happier because the chance that he will stay injury free.
Honestly, Dorada, you have said the truth. Like, we're okay. Like, if they don't perform for us.
Absolutely all right. It might sound like very weird, but the fact
That's
is,
selfish.
we need Di Maria to be
fresh,
fit, physically fit, fresh, and he'll be hungry. It's his last World Cup. He already announced the last international tournament. And he has that creativity and the big match moments. Yeah. So he's not playing, is not there, but I'm all right with him.
I mean, whether it be Batigol earlier or later the failure that was Mr. Higuain, right? This is one spot I remember after Copa, I was thinking that will Lautaro be the guy? Do you think he's our guy at Qatar to give you that typical strikers 5 or 6 goals in a entire 7-match campaign?
I think he is the chosen one. So he's going to be the first choice player. And I personally am very hopeful with him. He connects well with the players, and where I think he has improved recently is ability to link up plays, which was earlier he would just be a poacher, stand there and use his body to get the right position and try to score. He, as a typical poacher, he used to miss quite a bit also, which he still does. But his link-up play has improved quite a bit. And he is the chosen one. So I just hope that he started the season well, but last few game weeks, he hasn't been the same player. But because he's the chosen one, I'm hopeful that he will do well.
What about
the other player in the same team who is most probably has a confirmed ticket to Qatar from Inter is Joaquin Correa. I'm not a fan. And he gets some chance now. He's not getting into picture, and he will not probably play much for Inter because, Inter lost last weekend. The other player in Serie A,
sorry,
whom I really want to see in Qatar, but I don't know whether he'll make it, is Giovanni Simeone.
Okay.
Last year he's finished number 3 or 4 in the top scorer list, but he is not starting regularly at Napoli. So Napoli is top of the league. They have a very, very exciting squad, and he scored just twice. Once again, and just look at the opposition he scored. He scored against Milan. If they had lost, then Milan would be number 1. Okay, and in Champions League, he scored against Liverpool.
Right.
So having a player who could come in as a sub and score against big teams, and he is basically, as a poacher, he's quality-wise for me Argentina's best option.
Supriyo, coming to you for two things. One, I mean, comments on any of the other strikers that everyone talked about. And then if you have some words for this player that, we don't quite like, Lionel Messi. Yeah. So, these two.
Okay, before commenting on Messi, I'll just need to bring about the thing about Joaquin Correa. As Indranath has rightly pointed, he has no business having the Qatar ticket. I don't know why he's getting, but my complaint on Joaquin Correa is more on how Scaloni has used him. He has used him as a replacement of Lautaro Martinez. That's wrong. He's not a striker. He's not a out and out striker. He's most probably a support striker or an inside forward on the wings. Coming back to Lionel Messi, okay, that's a big one. Lionel Messi, he has gone past the ghost of last season where he was not so consistent. Still, he was producing assists, maybe scoring here and there few goals. This season, he has been very good, and he has adapted his new role as a cam or a attacking midfielder, playing behind both Neymar and Mbappe. His creativity has increased a lot, and I'll rather want to say more than Barcelona, because Barcelona he was doing almost everything. So less focus on creativity, more on dribbling, scoring. The only issue with Lionel Messi is his finishing has been declining, which I have seen is not so good. It's true that he's not getting many chances as he used to get.
Yeah.
And even in the national team also this has been reflected. So he's not finishing so well. His finishing has taken a hit. Another thing that's strikingly declining is his free kicks.
Sorry to cut you, Supriyo, but I think Indranath, I just wanted one interesting context here. I don't remember, but how was Diego sort of leading into the 86 World Cup? Was he also having a sort of a slump of form for the club? Or did he enter the tournament at the peak of his powers? Not really a like-to-like comparison, but just wanted to ask.
He was much younger. He was 26, whereas so that's right now a prime, and his best season with Napoli was the following season, 87. I'd say. But he was in a different state. Diego was in a different state. I think Messi's state is very different. Messi's state, for example, yesterday Lyon was a tough game.
Yeah,
he scored the only goal, and he had a decent game, and then the Instagram post is important 3 points before we move on to Argentina.
Pre-match.
His focus
I think it's pre-match or something. Yeah.
Yeah. His focus is national team.
This is
a great news for us.
Of course, no conversation on Messi is complete without taking the other name, right? So for the club that I support, the exact same logic is being uttered there. Like, and so far it was initially for the season, if I can share with you guys, it was Ronaldo does it. He wants to move out of United. The last two matches, and especially after he scored that penalty goal, the first of this season, suddenly became probably he's saving himself for Portugal. I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm also part of the Argentine cohort. I know that's exactly the thing that we are discussing within the Argentine camp. So what's your take on Messi, Srikar? Anything that you'd see him do differently? And or do you also agree with the other guys that he's probably saving himself for?
I watched every PSG match. I mean, when it doesn't clash with Barcelona. I mean, I have 1-2 years more of Messi that we'll be able to watch. I'm going to watch as much as I can. The Christophe Galtier system is much more efficient than Poch was. Pochettino had Messi and Neymar on the sticking right next to the outside line. Galtier is letting Messi play on the inside. Messi is slightly more playing through the middle. That is why his creativity, his vision, his passing, all of that has gotten a boost. But the one thing I'd like Messi to do more is, I don't care what kind of power Mbappe has with Paris. Go ahead, take a few chances. Let Mbappe do whatever he wants. Go ahead and shoot. Get into the box.
Yeah, I really like when we talk about Messi, how we become really possessive about how much. And Indranath, remember we were talking that every time Messi performs after 2 minutes, the stats are there, and it was fascinating seeing the Srikar and Supriyo, the duo, discussing that. So okay, guys, a superb chat, and I really sort of went through the squad with you guys. I felt that we are completely geared up to see the two matches against Jamaica and Honduras, and see that probably about 18 or 20 of them have their tickets confirmed. but the rest of them, right, the fringe ones, the 4 or 5 of them, and the rest 7 or 8. So I just want to go around here in the room and ask each one of you, what will be the top 1 or 2 things that you will watch out for in these 2 matches? And any player specifically to check them. So yeah, starting with you, maybe Supriyo, you can take it first. So what will you look out for in these 2 matches?
I'll really like to see Enzo Fernandez. I really like to see him. Let me see how he is doing in the national jersey, because he has been in the news for a long time. And also, I want to see Julian Alvarez performing, because he just scored 1 goal and he had a lot of chances versus Estonia, which he couldn't confirm. Which he couldn't convert, sorry. And if he starts scoring, if he gets 1 or 2 goals in these 2 matches, the confidence will be high and he will be a solid backup and registered
option.
backup. Yeah, registered backup for Lautaro Martinez. So these 2 players.
Excellent. Srikar, what about you?
Paulo Dybala, shockingly. I mean, I've never been a huge fan, but somehow this whole Roma Mourinho thing, for Dybala's technical quality, his tactical quality has always been good. It's always been his mentality that has been lacking, right? And Mourinho is not somebody who is going to sit and explain about which position you have to play, which angle you have to move. He's more of a man manager. If he can bring out the best in Dybala, make him more confident. So somebody, the 70-minute super sub, right?
Yeah.
Somebody who's gonna come, who's gonna take on tired legs, who's gonna dribble, who's gonna shoot from distance. If we have one such player, the X factor in that dying moment, if it's 0-0, instead of having it stretched to extra time, somebody can score in the 85th minute, we close the game.
Yeah.
That kind of player, I'm really, really hoping Dybala becomes that for us, or Julian Alvarez for that matter.
Yeah.
Our defense and midfield is stuck more or less. I mean, that's fine.
I really like your thought on Dybala, and then my dream combination is Di Maria till 55th or 60th minute, and then Dybala comes in and burns it down, burns the pitch. Okay, Indranath, what will be your watch out points for these 2 matches?
I think Supriyo and Srikar covered it. I want to see, and we didn't talk about Dybala when we talked about Italy and Srikar. I think his performance in Roma is something that he will give him a lot of confidence. And I hope he kind of instills that confidence in the management team so that he gets to play enough time. Again, say he is such a quality. If he comes, it wasn't very important goal from this, but even Finalissima, when he came, he scored the last goal. Because if he gets the opportunity, he has that ability to shoot in the goal and score. So I want to see him getting playing time. I want to see Enzo getting playing time. Maybe Alvarez also score, and I want to see a bit of combination of Lisandro Martinez and Cuti Romero in the center defense.
Got it. Yeah, I don't want to say anything because that's the only thing I wanted you to mention, Licha. Because Licha, I want 3 of you guys to be proven wrong, that he proves all of us wrong.
No,
and it makes sense.
we're all very hopeful for him, but don't want to fiddle too much.
Yeah. No, guys, so great. Like I said, great chat and absolutely a great walkthrough of the entire squad. So this is where this episode ends. For the next episode, we will have one more very important member from the One Stop Albiceleste Collective coming in with his special astrological predictions. And as we look forward and break down the different opponents that we have, and the potential opponents that we might have in the knockout rounds as well. So that's what is waiting for you in the 3rd episode. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you for your time. And yep, this is where we end today's episode. Vamos, Argentina.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Vamos, Argentina.
Vamos, Argentina. ¡Qué boludo!